There is a moment in every person's life when they realize something powerful. The greatest battles are not won by the strongest person in the room. They are not won by the person who speaks the loudest, moves the fastest, or tries the hardest. They are won by the person who understands. A young warrior once entered a temple seeking the secret of victory. He expected to find hidden techniques, powerful movements, and a strategy that would allow him to defeat anyone who stood before him. But the master gave him no weapon, no special technique, no complicated formula. Instead, the master pointed toward a calm lake and said, "Look into the water." The warrior looked and saw his own reflection. The master said, "Before you learn how to overcome others, learn how to overcome yourself. A disturbed mind cannot see clearly. A fearful heart cannot make wise decisions. And a person controlled by emotions can never truly lead." The warrior did not understand at first. He wanted the power to defeat others. But the master was teaching him something deeper. The greatest form of dominance is not making others feel small. It is becoming so disciplined, so aware, and so mentally strong that nothing outside of you can control your actions. Because the person who controls their emotions cannot easily be manipulated. The person who understands human nature cannot easily be deceived. The person who thinks several steps ahead cannot easily be defeated. And the person who has mastered themselves becomes a force that circumstances cannot break. In life, you will meet people who react quickly, speak without thinking, chase temporary victories, and reveal their weaknesses through their actions. But the wise person watches, the wise person listens, the wise person learns. Like a martial artist who does not waste energy on unnecessary movements. A powerful mind does not waste energy on unnecessary conflicts. Today, we will explore 5 rules that can transform the way you see people, challenges, and yourself, not to manipulate others, not to control the world, but to develop the awareness, discipline, and inner strength that allow you to move through life with confidence and clarity. Because the ultimate victory is not defeating someone else. The ultimate victory is becoming someone who cannot be defeated by your own weaknesses. The first rule of true dominance is the one most people ignore. Before you learn how to understand others, learn how to understand yourself. Asterisk, many people believe power comes from controlling conversations, winning arguments, or proving that they are right. They think the smartest person is the one who can defeat others with words. But a person who cannot control their own mind is already defeated. Imagine a warrior standing on a battlefield. His opponent is strong, his opponent is fast, and his opponent is aggressive. But the warrior does not move, he observes. He waits, he breathes. His opponent becomes frustrated because he cannot create a reaction. Every attack is wasted. Every movement reveals weakness. Why? Because the warrior is not fighting the opponent first. He is mastering himself first. The same principle applies in life. Someone insults you. Do you immediately react? Someone challenges your opinion. Do you instantly become defensive? Someone succeeds while you struggle. Do you allow jealousy to control your thoughts? These moments are not tests of the other person. They are tests of you. Your emotions are like a powerful animal. If you do not train it, it will drag you wherever it wants to go. Anger will make you say things you regret. Fear will stop you from taking opportunities. pride will prevent you from learning. But when you develop awareness, you create space between what happens and how you respond. And inside that space is your power. A calm mind sees what an emotional mind cannot see. A disciplined person notices opportunities that others miss. A person who understands themselves can recognize their own weaknesses before someone else uses them against them. The ancient warriors understood this truth. The greatest enemy is not always standing in front of you. Sometimes the greatest enemy is the voice inside your own mind, telling you to give up, react, complain, or seek approval, to outsmart anyone. Begin by becoming impossible to manipulate. Do not allow someone else's anger to become your anger. Do not allow someone else's opinion to become your limitation. Do not allow temporary emotions to control permanent decisions. The person with the strongest mind is not the person who never feels emotion. It is the person who feels everything, but remains the master of their actions. When you can sit with discomfort, when you can remain calm in chaos, when you can choose your response instead of being controlled by your impulses, you have already gained an advantage most people will never develop. Because the person who conquers themselves carries a strength that no opponent can take away. And this is where true dominance begins. The second rule of becoming impossible to outsmart is this: learn to see what others fail to notice. Asterisk. Most people move through life looking only at what is being shown to them. They listen to words, but they ignore the emotions behind those words. They watch actions, but they fail to understand the reasons behind those actions. They react to the surface, but they never search for what is underneath. A wise person does something different. A wise person observes. There is an old story about a young student who asked his teacher, "How can I know what people truly think? How can I understand their intentions?" The teacher took him to a crowded marketplace. People were walking, talking, negotiating, and chasing their daily goals. The teacher asked, "What do you see?" The student replied, "I see many people. Some are buying, some are selling, some are in a hurry." The teacher smiled and said, "You see their movements, but you do not see their minds." The next day, they returned to the same marketplace. This time, the teacher told the student to stop focusing on what people said and instead watch their behavior. The student noticed something different. He saw that one person spoke confidently, but constantly looked for approval. He saw another person acted impatient, but was actually afraid of losing an opportunity. He saw that behind every action was a reason. And this is a lesson that applies everywhere. People reveal themselves through patterns. Their habits reveal their priorities. Their reactions reveal their character. Their emotions reveal their fears. When you learn to observe, you stop being easily influenced by appearances. You stop believing every promise. You stop judging too quickly. You begin to understand. But remember, understanding human nature is not about using knowledge to manipulate others. It is about developing awareness. A skilled martial artist does not attack randomly. They study movement. They understand rhythm. They notice small changes before a strike comes. Life is the same. Before making a decision, observe. Before trusting someone, observe. Before responding to a situation, observe. The person who always reacts is controlled by the world around them. But the person who observes first creates their own direction. Many people reveal their weaknesses because they cannot control their emotions. They speak when they should listen. They reveal their plans before they are ready. They allow frustration to expose their intentions. But a disciplined person understands the power of silence. Silence is not weakness. Observation is not hesitation. Patience is not inaction. Sometimes the person sitting quietly in the corner understands more than everyone trying to prove themselves in the room. The world is constantly giving you information. The question is, are you paying attention? The person who learns to observe deeply gains an advantage. Not because they know everything, but because they are willing to see what others ignore. And when you can understand people, understand situations, and understand yourself, you stop moving blindly through life. You begin moving with awareness. And awareness is one of the greatest forms of power. The third rule of becoming impossible to outsmart is this: do not just react to life. Learn to think ahead of it. Asterisk, a person with a weak mind only sees what is happening right now. A person with a trained mind asks, what happens next? What is the consequence of this decision? What opportunity is hidden inside this challenge? This is the difference between someone who simply moves through life and someone who creates their path. There is a story of two warriors who were asked to cross a dangerous mountain. The first warrior immediately started climbing. He moved with speed, pushed through every obstacle, and believed that his strength would carry him to the top. The second warrior stood still for a moment. He studied the mountain. He looked at the weather. He observed the path. He understood where the dangers were hidden. Many people watching them thought the first warrior was more courageous because he started first. But by the time the first warrior reached the middle of the mountain, he was exhausted, lost, and surrounded by obstacles he never prepared for. The second warrior moved slowly, but every step had purpose. He did not waste energy fighting unnecessary battles. He did not rush into danger without understanding it. And when he reached the top, he was not only successful, he was prepared. This is the mindset of a strategist. In life, many people waste their energy trying to prove themselves. They argue with everyone. They chase every opportunity. They say yes to every distraction. They fight battles that do not move them closer to their goals. But a wise person understands something important. Not every battle deserves your attention. Your energy is limited. Your time is limited. Your focus is limited. The person who knows how to protect these resources becomes powerful. Strategic thinking means understanding that every action creates a result. Every habit builds a future. Every decision shapes your identity. A person who spends years avoiding discipline cannot suddenly create greatness overnight. A person who constantly chooses comfort cannot expect extraordinary results. The future is not created by one giant moment. It is created by the small decisions you make when nobody is watching. A true strategist does not ask, "What feels good right now?" They ask, "What creates strength tomorrow?" This is why patience is a weapon. While others chase quick rewards, the disciplined person builds something lasting. While others reveal their plans through words, the focused person reveals themselves through results, while others look for shortcuts. The wise person understands that preparation creates opportunities. A martial artist does not become skilled by fighting every person they meet. They train the fundamentals. They repeat the basics. They strengthen the foundation. Because when the real challenge arrives, they are ready. Life works the same way. The person who prepares in silence will eventually shine in public. The person who develops wisdom before seeking victory will make better decisions. The person who thinks several steps ahead will always have an advantage over the person who only reacts. Remember this: speed can help you move faster, but strategy helps you move in the right direction. And the person who knows where they are going does not need to compete with everyone around them. They simply continue walking their path until one day others realize they were never in the same race. The fourth rule of true dominance is this: asterisk, become the person who can command yourself even when nobody is watching. Many people want power. They want success. They want respect. But they often look for these things in the wrong place. They believe power comes from attention. They believe strength comes from appearing confident. They believe dominance comes from making others recognize their value. But the strongest people understand a deeper truth. Real power is built in silence. Asterisk. It is built in the moments when you choose discipline over comfort. It is built when you wake up and keep your promises to yourself. It is built when you continue moving forward even when motivation disappears. A young student once asked a master, "Why do some people become great while others remain the same, even when they have the same opportunities?" The master replied, "Because one person trains when they feel like it, and the other trains because they made a commitment." The difference is not talent. The difference is discipline. Motivation is temporary. Emotions change, feelings come and go, but discipline remains. A person who depends only on motivation will stop whenever life becomes difficult. But a person who has developed discipline continues because their actions are controlled by their values, not their emotions. Think about a mountain. A mountain does not become strong because it experiences only sunny days. It becomes strong because it survives storms. It stands through pressure. It remains unmoved by changing conditions. Your mind must become like that mountain, because life will test you. There will be moments when people doubt you. There will be moments when progress feels slow. There will be moments when your old habits try to pull you backward. And in those moments, discipline becomes your foundation. The person who cannot control small things will struggle to handle big things. If you cannot control your attention, distractions will control you. If you cannot control your habits will control your future. If you cannot control your thoughts will control your emotions. This is why self-discipline is the ultimate advantage. A disciplined person is difficult to manipulate because they know who they are. They do not need constant approval. They do not need everyone to understand their journey. They do not need immediate rewards to continue. They are driven by something deeper. They understand that every small action is a vote for the person they are becoming. Every time you choose patience over anger, every time you choose effort over excuses, every time you choose growth over comfort, you strengthen yourself. And slowly, you become someone different, not because of one dramatic moment, but because of thousands of small victories that nobody else saw. This is the secret of true dominance. The strongest person is not the one who controls others. The strongest person is the one who has complete control over themselves. Because when you master your mind, discipline your body, and strengthen your character, the world becomes much harder to shake you. Challenges become lessons. Failures become opportunities. Pressure becomes a place where you reveal your strength. And one day, you look back and realize the greatest battle you ever won was the battle against the weaker version of yourself. Asterisk final conclusion. The ultimate victory is mastery over yourself. That's it. At the beginning, we asked a powerful question. How do you outsmart anyone? Asterisk. And the answer may not be what most people expect. It is not by becoming more aggressive. It is not by learning how to manipulate others. It is not by trying to prove that you are better than everyone else. The greatest advantage you can develop is becoming the person who understands yourself so deeply that the outside world loses its power over you. A person who masters themselves cannot easily be controlled. A person who observes carefully cannot easily be deceived. A person who thinks strategically cannot easily be distracted. And a person with discipline cannot easily be defeated. Remember the 5 lessons. First, master yourself before trying to master others. Because the person who cannot control their own mind will always be controlled by something outside of them. Second, observe more and react less. Because wisdom is not found in speaking the most. It is found in seeing the most. Third, think strategically. Because the person who prepares today creates victories that others only hope for tomorrow. Fourth, build discipline and inner strength. Because your future is shaped by the actions you repeat when nobody is watching. And finally, understand this. The highest level of dominance is not standing above others. It is standing above your own limitations, your fears, your doubts, your excuses, your old habits. The world does not need another person trying to appear powerful. The world needs people who have developed true strength from within, a calm mind, a focused spirit, a disciplined character. A person who walks into any situation without needing to prove anything, because their confidence comes from the work they have done in silence. So when challenges come, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" When someone underestimates you, do not waste energy trying to convince them. Improve yourself. When life becomes difficult, do not search for an easier path. Build stronger legs. Build a stronger mind. Build a stronger spirit. Because the person who continuously improves themselves becomes someone that circumstances cannot easily defeat. The greatest victory is not defeating another person. The greatest victory is becoming the person you were always capable of becoming. Train your mind. Control your emotions. Move with awareness. Walk with discipline. And remember, the person who has conquered themselves has already achieved the greatest form of dominance. Everything else is just a reflection of that inner victory.